I'm sitting here. I just listened to Adam Waldman. I'm listening to this lady with the LAPD and domestic violence. Adam Waldman, literally, they're reading this guy's statements. He's saying hoax over and over again, which it is. He is literally detailing the plans which Amber Heard and her friends all concocted. And they're literally giving that information to the jury to digest and think about. Because it makes sense, given everything that they fucking have just heard over, 4 weeks? That would make sense. Because how else is what Johnny's saying and what Amber's saying in such stark contrast? It has to be, somebody's fucking lying. Somebody is flat out fucking lying. And all of the evidence points to Amber and her friends being fucking conspirators. And conspiring and putting this whole shit together because they were about to get kicked the fuck out, and they called that lawyer Spectre, and she told them what the fuck to do. And now they're sitting here with the lady from the LAPD, and she's pretty much saying, we train them if they see something that they need to take note of, they need to report everything, it's important. She's going through all the protocol and whatnot, and basically there's not much you can do if the person is not willing to admit to a violent crime being done, and if they're not cooperating. And also, if you're not seeing any type of disturbance, and if you're not seeing anything on the person, then there's really not much you can do. That's the consensus that I got from this lady so far. And it's just like, why are they bringing these people? Why? How is this helpful for Amber? We heard earlier this morning from disgruntled employees and former friends. It's not like the fucking accountant who stole millions upon millions of dollars. I think I just read that they settled that case, and the lawyer, not the lawyer, but the guy had to end up paying Johnny back or something. So it's just like, how are you going to say that you didn't steal the money, but you had to end up paying him back? Okay. But, yeah, it's all just, it's a bunch of bullshit. Amber's sitting up here today. I don't know. I did hear on somebody, I think it may have been last night on Popcorn Planet, how yesterday her look was, very much soft. And since she hasn't been up on the stand anymore, she's had softer looks. They were even saying, her makeup was pretty and this, that, and the other. So I'm just like, it's so interesting. Everything is contrived. Absolutely everything is planned out to a T. They're not doing anything by mistake. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. But none of these witnesses are even credible. I mean, Whitney Heard got up on the stand yesterday and was talking about I was barely sober. How does that make her a fucking credible witness when we've spent the better part of 2 weeks talking about Johnny's drug abuse and alcohol abuse and how he's such a horrible person because of that, trying to take down his credibility. Yet you have Whitney's sister who's saying she was barely ever sober. It's foolish. It's so fucking foolish. It's so stupid. And I keep hearing that the jury are just over it. They're over it. It's just, I saw someone say the guy, what is the guy? The DUI guy, not the DUI guy. It's the other guy that starts with an R. The jury number 1 was taking a damn nap. Done with it. Just absolutely done with it. And I don't blame them. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, I really could take a nap. They just went on lunch. So I wanted to see what Twitter was talking about, but this is all laughable. I think the jury is smart enough to realize what the hell is going on here, regardless of all these people that are disgruntled. Oh god, that scared me. Ooh, hold on now. But yeah, just a bunch of disgruntled employees. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a waste of time. But what was not a waste of time was the mention of Laura B. that umbrella guy, and incredibly fucking average. They got a shout out. Internet journalists, hell yeah. They got a shout out. They have been on this case from the beginning. I remember like when my mind was first blown was when I started watching Incredibly Average, when his videos started coming out, and I was like, oh fuck no, are you for real? And he had his diagrams, he had his, it was incredible the work that he did. So, and all of them, so I'm so happy that they've gotten the recognition. Apparently that umbrella guy, the first media outlet has just hit him up for an interview over the Johnny Depp and Adam Waldman situation. Mainstream, instead of hitting me up, asked domestic abusers why they back Johnny. That's the real story. So I am just, that's crazy. Was Legal Bites mentioned too? I think Legal Bites was mentioned. But this is so awesome. Hard work, time, dedication. And it's because they see the truth. The truth is literally there. It's right fucking there. Anything that has been said about Johnny, about his character, about him being late, about him faking drug tests, about him being a drunk, about him being a druggie, about him smashing things, you know, about him getting depressed. All these things are things that normal, typical human beings deal with every fucking day. I faked a drug test before, like, to get a fucking job. Like, I'm not above that shit, so I'm not about to judge somebody for that, you know? There's whole forums online on how to do it because that's how many people have tried to do it. Like, it's character assassination, yet at the same time, to me, it kind of makes it feel like, okay, you can't have anything wrong with you. You can't have any issues, any problems, like, automatically that's, like, you're an abuser because you do X, Y, and Z. And that's just not true. That's not true. Just because he's done all of these things, or he has this behavior, as they like to call it, does not mean that he is an abuser. He's not. They have not been able to prove that anybody has seen Johnny hit her. Every single person says, I did not see. I did not see. You know? Every single person. So I'm not getting it. I'm not getting how they're thinking that this is about to be some big, like, oh my god, hurrah, when all we have is Amber's words of this happened or this happened, and then some fake fucking bruises, light bruises from a light headbutt, like all this busted split lips that's cracked, like all this uniformed cuts, stuff that is just so surface that can be easily done to yourself, quite honestly. And Adam called her out. Called her the fuck out. She didn't like it, called up her boyfriend. He banned him off of Twitter. Lifetime ban off Twitter. It's just every time the truth is trying to get out there, they try to shut people down. And that's where you know that there's something hidden, some shit going on behind the scenes. So they really need to just stop and let things just go as they are and stop trying to, like, silence so many people and trying to do, like, this stupid ass PR machine, because her reputation is never coming back from this regardless. Fucking regardless. It's crazy. Let me see what Twitter's saying. And, like, trying to paint Amber out as this perfect little princess is just, it's not happening. And then you've got this stylist, whoever the stylist is for Raquel, Whitney, and Amber, you've got them all trying to dress alike. Raquel, in her interview with Johnny's team, she's all huffing and puffing, sighing, doing all this, looking annoyed, doing the fucking most. But when she gets in there with Amber's team, she's all crying and getting emotional, has the hair up, is dressed exactly like Amber in the same ways, just like Whitney showed up. It's just like, child, please. We can see right through it. Y'all are transparent as fuck. Like, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's desperation. Someone said, I've read somewhere Johnny can bring in new witnesses who are on his witness list to rebuttal. Wouldn't it be great if there was a Botox expert testifying that the bruises could be Botox? Oh, I wish. I wish they could bring them. I wish that they could also bring Samantha McMillan, the stylist, who did not see anything on the 16th, December 16th. Who else do I wish that they could bring? Oh, I would say Lily, but I don't want the children involved. I would say Jack, but I don't want the children involved because I want to hear more tea about that whole situation when she was throwing, when Johnny like spilled wine on her accidentally, and she was screaming at Johnny, and the boy was like weirded out. I would love to hear about that. Let me know who you would like to see. I'd love Kate Moss to come as like a character witness. Since they want to have all these people come and diminish Johnny's character, I'd love to have some people come in and speak about Johnny's character and who he is as a person and being in intimate relationships with him, as it is a direct opposite experience than what Amber has had. But yeah, that would be cool. I've got helicopters going now. I swear, it's always something going on here. It's always gonna be something. That Adam Waldman video is a disaster for AH. 5 lawyers so far. So like these lawyers on different panels are saying exactly the same thing. How the fuck is Adam Waldman's deposition being played for the jury? Good for them to hear. It's just logical information, food for thought, that duh, like that's exactly what happened. I'd be like, even if I was like on the fence and I heard Adam's statements and what he was saying, I'd be like, that makes sense. I'd be like, that makes sense. Like, are you kidding me? I can't. I'm so happy for that umbrella guy and Laura. So cool. LOL, Depp walked into his own house quickly. I was really scared. Liz Mars, freeloading, living in someone's house rent-free. Like, girl, that's what fucking gets me. These people trying to act like, oh, Johnny was so fucking aggressive, Amber was isolated. She had all these fucking people just invading Johnny's homes and shit because she thought he would never know because he has so many of them. She had them invading his homes, living in there, didn't know. Who knows who was up in these houses? You know, who really even knows? So when he comes up in his house, he rolls up in the house and you weren't expecting him, Liz Mars. You were like, oh shit, oh shit, let me get like, she probably had her stuff set up, her toiletries on the dresser, she probably had clothes in drawers and shit, and he rolled up real quick, so of course she ran and got scared, because you know you're not supposed to be there, you know you did not get permission from Johnny. You did not. These people, grifters. And then the former best friend, he's like, people seem to always want things from Johnny. Like, yeah, you seem to be one of them because Johnny cut you the fuck off. He cut him off. Didn't answer phone calls, didn't answer texts. He was like, no, you stabbed me in the back. I'm done. I don't even need an explanation. I'm done protecting his peace like the king he is, like not doing this. Oh, I didn't know this. Adam Waldman is representing Johnny pro bono, free of charge for the last 6 years. Wow. wow, that's dope. Because he knows. Like, Adam knows. I can imagine, like, them having a conversation and it being like, you know, we're in Adam's office, they're in their law office, and Johnny's sitting up there talking to them. They're in those big, like, brown chairs sitting across from each other. They both got something brown in their glasses. It's probably later at night. And Adam looks over at Johnny, he's like, can I ask you? Like, I'm sure Johnny has had this conversation with somebody. And I'm sure Adam was like, can I ask you? And I want you to be straight up, honest with me, completely fucking honest. Do not fucking lie to me. Adam talking to Johnny. Did you hit Amber? Did you hit her? Did you hit her in any way? Did you hit her? And I'm sure Johnny responded back, I absolutely did not. And you can tell when someone is lying. You know, like, there's all the body language experts in the world online and stuff like that. And you can tell when somebody's lying. And I'm sure Adam looked at him and he said, okay, I believe you. And they got into this shit. And they figured it all the fuck out. Figured it all out. Like, I truly, like, I just don't see, I see Johnny as being someone troubled from childhood. He had a fucked up childhood with a mother who was abusive, just like the woman he ended up marrying. Like, it all makes sense on his side, you know? And they're talking about Amber deteriorated and da-da-da-da-da, and she got sick, and her hair was falling out, and she was 100 pounds, and she couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat, da-da-da-da. But every time I see a picture of Amber and Johnny during their time together, Amber looks beautiful. Well put together, hair right, clothes right. And Johnny's the one who looks like he's deteriorating. Johnny is the one who looks ill and unwell. And like something is going the fuck on. So I'm not buying any of this bullshit. I still stand where I am standing. I am not moving. I am not swayed. I've seen some wishy-washies online. I don't appreciate it. How are you moved by this? How? Ava Green Webb shares her support of Johnny Depp this morning. So Ava Green, okay, they were in the movie together. Okay, I have no doubt Johnny will emerge with his good name and wonderful heart revealed to the world, and life will be better than it ever was for him and his family. I know that's right, Ava. Thank you for the support. I know that's right, because I honestly feel like Johnny, like, once this is done, even still, like, if some way he does not end up winning this, even still, he has been publicly vindicated. We know it's all out there, the dirty nitty gritty, it's all out there at that point. He's going to be publicly vindicated. Do you guys know how much work he's going to get? Because we know he's not going to get this $50 million from Amber. Like, she doesn't have it unless she's going to get it from Elon. He's going to have a book deal, movie deals. People are going to be wanting to do interviews with him. I'm sure he's going to be advised not to. It probably will take him some time. I could see maybe like 6 months to a year down the road, like Johnny sitting down and doing like an interview with somebody. He would have to pick the person very, very carefully. But yeah, this is just, it's going to be better than ever. I truly believe that. I do. I agree with Ava. Tracy Jacobs looks like someone entering witness protection after trying to ruin Johnny Depp with Amber Heard. Maybe I would too. She does. Y'all gotta see this picture. I'm not going to talk about this picture. Another disgruntled former employee. I can't. I'm not wasting the time. Oh, this is Johnny. arriving this morning. He looks great, and he's in good spirits. What's he say? Oh, me. Hey, I like the suits that button like that. He looks good. He has a sketchbook, his coffee.
Just made breakfast for all of them this morning.
Oh, yes, you did.
Waffles.
Waffles. Ooh. Oh, God, he looks so good. Man, imagine waking up to Johnny making you like breakfast in bed or some shit and bringing you waffles. Some people are so lucky and so goddamn unappreciative. Like, girl, it just didn't have to be that way. It really, really did not have to be that way. They should have never gotten together. Ever gotten together. But she manipulated and made herself into being this person that Johnny thought was like legit the like him reincarnated in a woman, and he thought it all was good. He thought she was like enamored with her because that's what she made herself be. And it's just You can make me waffles, Johnny. I will be there. I will be there and eat every last bit. Adam Waldman is someone Amber underestimated. He's not physically intimidating. He looks like a nice guy and sounds disarming, and yet he managed to out one of the biggest abuse hoaxes ever. Exactly. Like, they try to make it seem like this guy attacked Amber. Attacked. And you sit up, this guy looks like it's just a regular guy. All of a sudden, it's like he's just chilling. Ain't nothing alarming about this guy. He just exposed your lies. As Johnny said, I watched you lie. And I watched you lie. I said, tell Travis what you just did. Did you hit me in the jaw? And I watched you lie. I love that when he says that to her. Oh, God. Amber Heard moved all of her friends into Johnny Depp's home on his dime, including people he didn't even know were living there. Meanwhile, Johnny spent his birthday with her friends and had to beg to let him see his daughter. You tell me which one of them was isolated. Exactly. It's just... Tracy J and UTA made tens of millions off of Johnny's career. Abso-fucking-lutely. Stayed loyal to them when every other major movie star was signed to CAA, WME, or ICM. This bolstered UTA's reputation. Many actors signed with them because of their affiliation with Johnny Depp. Yes, because Johnny Depp is the biggest fucking movie star in the world, so of course you're gonna align yourself where he is. So and then you're gonna fucking sit up here. People are sneaky fucking snakes, and it's like he has done so much for these people and they have like turned their backs on him. I couldn't trust anybody ever. I wouldn't want to be around anybody but like my family. I would be like, fuck everyone. Made them bukus. I'm sad for Johnny Depp to see most of the people around him, even old friends, were only there for money and not for him. Yeah, that is a sad situation. It's a sad thing. Elaine just told the jury by accident that Depp hit cabinets because TMG stole his money, not because of her. Talk about awful lawyering. Exactly. There have been so many slips in this case of people just like really letting the truth out and not even realizing it. And it's just like, because you can't sit up there and lie and some of the truth not come out. Like, you just can't. You can't do it. Amber sat up in her deposition and said that that TMZ was alerted. It's a mess. Well, I'm gonna go eat my lunch. my losh. And then we're gonna come back and see what happens. I think they said we're gonna have a live witness. I think that's what they said. Wanted to see what was there. Oh, stop it. When did the jury get back into interest? When they heard the word perjury repeated about 100 times. Exactly. LOL. Because they were all fucking lying their asses off. Yep, the LAPD detective heard Amber's case. Absolutely, because they're saying there's nothing you can do. Just foolish. Anyway, I'm gonna get some lunch and we'll see what happens. We're really going over negative hashtags, y'all. Negative hashtags. This bitch is so concerned with her public image, but she did this to herself. Johnny told her this was going to be bad. We're talking about hashtag comparisons. Amber Heard is an abuser. Amber Turd. We just don't like you, Amber. We are with you, Amber. Justice for Amber Heard. Like, hashtag comparisons. And apparently it's spiking on this orange line for justice for Johnny Depp. Because people know what's going on, honey. So they're trying to compare different dates and shit. To like, okay, December 17th, 2022, The Stand premieres. And they're showing a spike in the Justice for Johnny Depp hashtag.
Even taking account for that spike,
like, come on.
More negative tweets
come on.
Before or after April 2020?
It's just foolishness. They're saying every time she has something come out or there's a big fucking release or something like that, this, that, and the other, then it's like, oh, because of this media backlash, Amber has suffered all of this shit. But for years, Johnny was fucking pressed and talked and trashed and dogged the fuck out in the press. Amber, stop it. You were exposed by your lies, and people wanted to talk about it. Please.
Spike in negative hashtags occurring before April 8th, right before April 8th, 2020.
Objection, hearsay.
This is showing nothing. Is this supposed to show me that you deserve $100 million, bitch? For real? You're showing me hashtags?
There was more negative tweets in April 6th and April 7th than April 8th, 2020.
No.
Objection, no foundation.
Was there more negative tweets in April 6th and April 7th than in April 8th, 2020 as it relates to this?
Amber's back with the braids.
If you look at the day-by-day...
looks like she has on a tweed suit. I don't know what she has on. It still looks like she has on that B earring from what it looks like. We have both Rottenborn and Elaine sitting on either side of her now all of a sudden, taking tips from Johnny's team, trying to act like they support her all of a sudden. But we all know what's happening behind the scenes. Elaine, you fussed her out. Amber was fucking telling you to do your job because you've been embarrassing her massively.
As on the 8th, on the 6th, and the 7th.
This is all just a fucking waste. Holy crap. They're saying abuse hoax is used multiple times. Yes, it's abuse hoax is used multiple times because this is an abuse hoax. This is what it is. It's all a fucking hoax. Adam Waldman named about 10 fucking people who fucking conspired on this shit, you guys. It was awesome. Like, come on. He's listing them out. Listing them out.
By removing it, it sort of rescales the graph and you can see the others much better. And
oh my god, I feel like the rest of the day is going to be so dry. Where is Ellen Barkin? There was so much hype for Ellen Barkin, but where is she? What's going on here? They are showing this chart with, I guess he compiled key terms of hoax, fake, and fraud. in showing all these numbers. So now they're blaming the public for having minds of their own and speaking their truth. And they felt that she is a hoaxer, a fake, and a fraud. The truth is the truth. Don't be mad that this is the consensus of your fucking story, Amber. You're a hoax, a fake, and a fraud. Do you think showing this to the jury is going to help your case? The fact that all these people are tweeting hoax, fake, and fraud when it comes to you, Amber, you think the jury is going to see this and be like, oh my god, poor Amber. She got so much abuse online. No, they're going to be like, damn, all these people think that she is a hoaxer, a fake, and a fraud. So, if that's the major consensus, if that's the logical consensus out there, I'm feeling like the jury is gonna go with that. And them seeing this is helping Johnny. What are you talking about? Amber Turd, yes, because she shit on a man's bed. Nasty ass. Just nasty.
And the Twitter data you collected shows that the 4 hashtags you identified were in existence before Mr. Waldman made the first statement in April 2020, right?
That's correct. In very small number.
But justice for Johnny Depp has been around since 2013, correct?
2013. It's 2022.
Amber Turd first appeared in 2016.
They're asking about Amber Turd, you guys. Amber Turd, how embarrassing.
There was any portion of Mr. Waldman's statement that made any
Look at
reference
Amber.
to Amber Turd?
Emphasis on turd. He said Amber Turd. Look at Elaine.
Without reading Mr. Waldman's statements, correct?
People can form a negative opinion of anyone without reading anything. That's correct.
Okay, dude.
And you didn't
Look at
consider
Elaine.
whether there was
I can't believe they're saying Amber Turd in the courtroom with Amber right there. It's fucking
What I did was
hilarious.
support,
It's hilarious.
With these hashtags and certain search terms in particular, I wasn't trying to read anyone's mind as to why they use them.
I think that your consensus would be that people think that she's a turd.
million plus tweets that you looked at were connected in some way to Mr. Waldman's statements.
I did eventually, yes.
You didn't.
All connected to Adam Waldman, not connected to the fact that Amber is a fucking liar, sat up and lied for fucking years, when there's complete evidence showing that everything is fabricated. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with Adam Waldman exposing her as a liar. Because that makes sense.
This is yours, right?
Correct.
The biggest spikes, by far the biggest spikes here, are attributable to what hashtag?
Well, hashtag Justice for
Justice
Johnny
for
Depp.
hashtag.
Hell yeah.
There are spikes that existed considerably before Mr. Waldman's statement. You were asked about that by counsel.
One of them did. That was the date that Mr. Waldman leaked the audio tape.
The biggest spike
Leaked the audio tape.
was before.
It should have been leaked. It needed to be leaked because people needed to hear the truth.
Many statements.
We needed to hear what was really going on behind closed doors. The hysterics and complete insanity and maniacal, tyrannical laughing that Amber does, and how she flips into this complete crazy person.
More specific.
Well, so you looked at 1.2 million of these hashtags, right?
Right.
In your chart, didn't 980,000 of these plus belong to Justice for Johnny Depp?
Yep.
That sounds about right. You'd have to show me, but I'd take your word for it.
But the vast majority of them were Justice for Johnny Depp.
A majority of them were.
Well, it wasn't the majority so large that you had to draw another chart.
The reason for drawing another chart is because
Because of why?
the numbers were high at particular points, so you wouldn't be able to see the other hashtags.
Right. Literally, this is your chart, and all of the other activity at the bottom you could barely see in comparison to the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp.
Right, as I testified, you can barely see them because of the spikes.
Right.
in the
All the
Justice for
spikes are
Johnny
talking
Depp.
about justice for Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny Depp. They're sitting here trying to say she was so harassed with these other Amber Heard Twitter. Amber Heard is the abuser hashtags.
That's correct.
But the biggest spike is justice for Johnny Depp. People talking about Johnny,
I'm only talking about correlation.
not Amber.
You're talking about a mathematical connection.
That's right.
Right. And you don't.
She just didn't like the fact that people wanted justice for Johnny Depp. She didn't like the fact that people were out here hearing the truth.
That's correct.
This little chart you can make on fucking Excel.
Be in July of 2020.
Yes, the point I was pointing to a different one, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, smart ass.
Were you aware there was a trial in the UK in 2020
I'm aware.
and in July?
Right.
You're saying it was in July?
No, but as of the time of that spike, there was publicity around the trial, correct?
I don't know how much publicity there was. I know the trial was going on now.
All right.
Okay then.
There are a number of things called out in your chart relative to particular dates: December 17th, February 11th, February 14th.
Yep.
You see all those?
I do.
And your chart makes absolutely no reference to and does not identify the dates of any of the Waldman statements, does it, sir?
No, it doesn't call those out if that's what you're asking.
It calls out a whole bunch of other dates.
So what are you trying to prove?
Relative to the Waldman statements.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly. So what did Waldman do that was so horrible to Amber?
All right. And sometimes
Your
at
chart
some
doesn't
point,
even point it out.
You ran searches for additional search terms.
Dummy.
Hoax, fraud.
Hoax, fraud, fake. Keep saying it so the jury can hear it.
You don't know why those terms appear, do you?
I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
Do you know why those terms appeared? You were researching it, but do you know why? That's what he's asking you.
perform a scientific analysis of the reason why those terms appeared in the tweets you were looking at.
Right, I could only show a mathematical correlation.
Right. You can show a correlation, but you don't have any idea why they're there.
I can't get into
You're
people's
showing
heads.
a correlation, but you don't know
Just
why it's
because
there.
The tweet contains one of the terms does not mean the tweet was in some way prompted by Mr. Waldman, right?
Well, there are a few things I searched for. The ones you just mentioned, and then the Waldman and Waldman-Young terms. So
The Waldman
it's
terms.
not
Oh
that big
my
a stretch
God.
to say that it's related to Mr. Waldman if it's his name and Waldman-Young or Minion.
Wait a minute, it's the new standard, it's not that big a stretch?
No,
The
I'm
standard
trying to speak. I'm
scientific
trying to.
circle, right?
Yes.
Right. So, you're not suggesting that you know why Mr. Waldman's name appeared in any of these tweets?
Well, if you look at the tweets that have Waldman-Young, you know, and I looked at a large sample of them.
Did you?
Just a large sample was 2,000 out of 1,000,002.
No, I looked at more than that of these. But that's another thing that I wouldn't expect to be in controversy. You know, when people are saying that they're part of the Waldminions or things like that.
Waldminions.
I would
Oh
expect
my
everybody to
God.
agree without arguing that it has to do with Mr. Waldman.
Nobody asked whether it had to do with Mr. Waldman. I'm wondering, how do you know that...
He's trying to be a
anything
smart
Mr.
ass.
Waldman's statements?
But I was under the impression, I was informed that nobody really knew who Mr. Waldman was before all of this. So I wouldn't expect it to be anything else. I didn't think it was any controversy.
He is trying to be
Wasn't
a
it controversy
smart
whether anyone knew
ass.
who Mr. Waldman was in later testimony?
No, I'm saying it wasn't a controversy that that if somebody was suddenly talking about him, that it had to
Come
do
up
with
here,
this.
show your numbers, and be respectful.
But again, it's not, did it have to do with this case? It's, did it have to do with the allegedly defamatory statements. You have no idea.
None. Not a
I
clue.
can't get into anyone's mind. I can only talk about the science of it.
Right.
And you're not talking about the science of
And
it.
so you
You're not
identify
doing
all of these,
anything.
hashtags
Ugh.
as the hashtag that predominates through your analysis is not, in fact, negative towards Miss Heard.
Justice
I'm
for
not
Johnny
I'm
Depp.
not opining on the hashtag itself. I'm talking about the tweets.
That's what it, literally what your chart is showing is hashtag
But the
comparisons.
hashtag itself is not negative.
That's not part of my opinion, one way or the other.
But do you have an opinion as to whether justice for Johnny Depp is a good thing?
That's not part of my assignment.
Okay. But you'll agree with me justice in general is a good thing?
Big fan of justice.
Right, me too.
Yeah,
No food question.
we are a huge, huge fan of justice. Is that Amber over there smiling? I'm sure. Why does he look so pleased with himself, like he mic dropped or something? You did
I did.
nothing.
And the tweets that had the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp, how many of them were negative toward Miss Heard?
All of them.
Of course they were. Of
and
course they
What
were.
percentage of the tweets with negative hashtags between April 2020 and January 31st, 2021?
Because of some hashtags, because people saw the truth.
Over
Amber deserves $100 million. I do not think
over
so.
25%.
I do not think
And
so.
your analysis.
Now we have Miss Ellen Barkin. Okay.
Come a time when your friendship with Mr. Depp became more than that. Became more.
Johnny looks like he's uncomfortable.
At what point in time do your
Why does she laugh at that?
that take a romantic turn?
What's up with the romance, Ellen?
After I moved to Hollywood,
This is way back in the day, y'all. Literally back in the day. Why are you here? And she's saying he switched the buttons, meaning he wanted to have a more intimate relationship with her.
the friendship went from a purely platonic friendship to a romantic.
At that point in 1994, when your relationship turned romantic, to your knowledge,
Change that to sexual.
Change it to sexual. Yes, because you know good and goddamn well. Good and goddamn well, honey.
Several months. Anywhere between 3 and 5, 6.
So you were fucking around for 3 to 5 to 6
during that period,
months.
how often?
Years ago.
That period when it was something.
So I'd see him 3 or 4 times a week.
3 or 4 times a week in the wee hours of the morning.
Looking to pry into private
You know what they
details,
call that?
can you tell me, like, where you would see him? Just give me some sense of it.
Yeah, he would come to my house, or I would go to his house.
Late at night.
Houses in LA.
Yes, about 10-minute drive apart from each other.
And at either when you were at his house,
I know Johnny is like, this is a bunch of bullshit. He probably never thought he'd see her again. LOL. Can I change it to sexual?
His sister? That's all I can remember now.
do you recall the name of the assistant?
I don't know his name. He was referred to as Pig.
Pig.
Referred to by whom as Pig?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
At the
Depp.
point that you were either initially
She
friends and
seems
then
very
sexually with Mr. Depp,
bitter.
were
And
you
her mouth does the
aware
same
that
like
he was,
downward toward the downward turned mouth thing like Amber. It's kind of strange.
Okay, and can you explain how you were aware of that?
He was drunk all the time, a lot of the time.
He was drunk all the time. He was drunk most of the time, but you were there 3 times a night. Were you not drinking, Ellen?
And what was he drunk? What you're understanding? What had he drunk to become drunk?
He was a red wine drinker.
Johnny is over there having the time of his life, not bothered or concerned about
you
any of
aware at
this.
that time that Mr.
Not a concern.
Depp was taking any prescription medication?
No.
No.
Same question, Mr. Barkin, for illegal substances.
Yes.
Same question. And what illegal substances?
I mean, for real, y'all just had filmed Fear and Loathing. Let's be real. You just filmed Fear and Loathing.
Cocaine,
All the coke, and you was doing it.
marijuana.
Marijuanas, I'm sure you were partaking.
Can you say specifically what those were?
I don't really know. He called me and told me he was tripping.
Tripping.
With
I bet
respect to
he
any of that,
wishes he could be
Mr.
tripping
Jennings,
right
smoking
now.
marijuana,
Shoot,
did
sitting
you
in
ever
here
do
with these
anything?
people, lying up and
Yes.
down.
More than once?
All the time.
When you say all the time, how many times, again, in the period that you were both first friends and then sexual with Mr. Depp, do you think you saw him?
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I just know he was always drinking
He likes to drink.
or smoking joint.
He likes
Would you say
to
more than
smoke.
At least dozens of
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, we know
Over
this.
the full course, oh yeah.
The jury has got to be sick of this shit. They're gonna go home and get a drink and smoke after this shit.
Observe Ms. Barkin, Mr. Depp's behavior change when he drank more or used more drugs.
Oh my.
So he was kind of the same all the time. Fair to say?
If he was drunk all the time, then wouldn't that mean, why would it change his demeanor if he's drunk all the time versus being
Ms.
sober?
Barkin, when Mr. Depp acted in a way that was out of control with you.
Yes.
Oh God.
Mr. Depp threw a wine bottle across the room.
Across the room.
Instance,
Not
in
at
Las
you.
Vegas while we were shooting
Oh
Fear
my
and Loathing.
goodness. Through a wine bottle.
Was something about to happen?
And he was filming Fear and Loathing. I'm sure shit was real trippy
Between
when they were
Johnny
filming
Depp
that joint.
and his friends in the room, the assistant. Honestly, I don't remember.
And
Yeah,
the
because it was a
bottle
long
that-
time
remember
ago.
seeing
Again,
things
why are
like
you
the
here?
bottle was full of wine or empty?
I don't.
You don't remember.
Sitting here today, Ms. Barkin, do you remember whether the bottle hit you?
No, it did not.
It did not hit you. Again, why are you here? Did it hit anyone else? No. Why are you here?
Away from you was Mr. Depp when he threw the bottle.
Across the room.
He was
So
across the
I
room
didn't
from
let
you.
that break in the table.
Nowhere near you. So what is the point?
Toss.
A toss. It's not even a throw. A toss. Why are we here?
If the bottle had hit you, would it have injured you? Ms. Barkin, was it your understanding?
If the bottle would have hit you, would it injured you? Why are they asking that? It didn't hit her, so why the fuck does it matter?
In your direction.
Yes.
Was there other people standing around you?
Yes.
So
Yes.
in your direction at a group of people.
Yes.
Whose hotel room was it?
His Johnny Depp's.
Who broke off?
He did.
How did it come about that Mr.
Oh,
Depp
she's
broke off?
distressed now.
I went to go home. There was a big goodbye, crying, a lot of jealous, and don't do this, don't do that. And
Johnny is like, girl, bye. That's because I was having somebody else come over.
Mr. Depp not want you to go back.
Jealous. Johnny was jealous back in the 90s when he could have had any and everybody. Girl, please.
Somebody's supposed to be there for
You
2
were
days.
one of many.
I stayed for longer.
And you just referenced, you just used the word jealous. How did that come up?
There, yes, he didn't want me to go. I was only supposed to be there for 2 days. I stayed for longer.
And you just referenced, you just used the word jealous. How did that come up?
Jealous.
He
Everyone's
said
jealous.
that-
Johnny's jealous. Oh my
He's
God.
just a jealous man, controlling. Where are you going? Where are
What?
you going with?
He's just a
What
jealous
did you
man.
do
Johnny
last
just
night? I had a
shook his head
scratch on
no.
my back once
Amber
that
just looked
got
over
me
like,
very,
see,
very
I told
angry.
you. Look at her. Look at all pleased and shit.
A person who wasn't him.
I just do not see Johnny being jealous. This man was at the top of his fucking game. He could have had anybody he wanted. Ellen, y'all were fuck buddies. I'm not seeing it. I'm not at all. And Amber is looking way too fucking pleased with herself over there. Looking over like, see, I told you, her story matches mine. Trying to look over to the jury to see if they're connecting and see if they picked up on that and if they're agreeing with it. No, bitch. No.
During the time that you were in a sexual relationship with Mr. Depp, was it common for him to say things to you about being controlling, to use your words, or being jealous of you?
Jealous of her for what?
Yeah, very common.
Oh my
And
God.
when, in these instances, when Mr. Depp became jealous or controlling, did he also become angry?
Yeah,
Amber looking at the jury.
and demanding.
And demanding. Demanding of what?
Let's go take
Ellen?
an afternoon recess. Please not discuss the case. And
Yeah,
not do any
afternoon
outside research, okay?
recess.
See you back in 15 minutes.
Afternoon recess. Lovely. Johnny is smiling. He's like, this is so dumb. I fucked this woman 20 years ago for a few months, and she's gonna sit up in here say I'm jealous because I wanted to move on with Kate Moss and be with Kate Moss. Yeah, no. Look at Amber. Ugh. She disgusts me.
We'll come back at 3:45. Does that give you time?
3:45. Okay. So because they were so late this morning with the jury being delayed, I wonder, like, is it gonna go even later today? Like, how does that work? Because I kind of need to go out of here kind of early because I'm buying a car tonight, y'all. Finally, my settlement check came through for my car accident at like the end of April, and I'm getting a new car. So that is exciting. It all ended up working out, but damn, it's been a wait. But yeah, look at all these people still in here. A lot of people left the other day because it was dry. They put the clock up on us. Alright, so they said 3:45. So we'll see what Twitter has to say about Miss Ellen Barkin so far. Can y'all even see me here? She really thought she was doing something with when asked about her romantic relationship with Depp, she said, "Can you change it to sexual?" Like, she thought she was doing something. She really did. See what else is going on. She saw him do drugs all the time and he did not become violent towards her. So, again. Ooh, that's rude. Someone said, Jesus Christ, Barkin looks like Steven Tyler's grandma with the face she's making. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, God. People are so... Oh, God. I'm trying not to talk about people's looks because that's really rude. Someone said recap so far, a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, it's like, okay. Before Ellen, we had another disgruntled employee, like, former employee. It's just dumb. Oh my gosh, she's such a clout chaser. Yeah. I feel real clout chaser energy, trying to revive a career. You know, maybe people see her as this women's champion and she came out in support of Amber Heard, this woman who was so brutally abused. And now she's going to become an ambassador or something, this, that, and another, because she came out in support of Amber Heard, who was so-called abused. I'm going to charge my phone. Hold on. This case has taught me that people will really do and try anything to get some money. Like, this is not going to revive your career, Ellen. People aren't going to start hitting up your line, asking you to do new shows and this, that, and other. Maybe you'll get a few interviews and stuff, which you can get payment for. But other than that, What do you think is going to happen unless you're trying to turn this into something like Amber tried to do for herself and make herself into some human rights activist, some women's rights activist, or something like that? What more would this, why else would you be doing this years later for a man that you had a sexual relationship with? Sexual. Like, I don't understand. I do not understand. Let's see what else. I mean, she has not, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about people's looks. A lot of people are talking about her deposition look and the faces that she's making and comparing old pictures of her to new pictures of her. So I don't know, y'all. I'm not trying to go dirty like that, but I think we all know what I think we all know. God, I hate work. There's like always something. Like, Jesus Christ. As soon as I get done with one email, another fucking email comes in. I'm just over it. I'm so fucking over it. Ugh. Anyway, sorry to bitch and moan about working. Everybody has to work to survive. But it's annoying. It gets in the way of life. Let's see what else. The throw was more of a toss, so now it's not even a throw. Exactly, I said that. Like, this whole time, this rumor and story has been that Johnny threw the bottle across the room. But now she's saying it's more like a toss. A toss is like, that's a toss. Like, a toss is literally, like, a toss is an underhanded thing, right? It's not an overhanded thing. A throw is like this, and there's a lot more force behind it. A toss is like this motion. So what the fuck is it, Ellen? What is it? These people be lying, exaggerating, fabricating, embellishing, gaslighting. Sean and the bodyguards in there acted up again, laughing at shit. I can't. Carol Funk said, Johnny losing it. So funny. She can't remember how long she was effing hot. Johnny, 3 months, 5. He came to her place or he went to his place. He threw a bottle at a wall once. Exactly. You're saying you can't remember all this shit. It's because it was years ago. Like, it's pointless of you being here. You look dumb. You look like you have nothing else to do with your time in life and decided, I'm gonna go do this deposition and see what I can get out of it. That's all it looks like. He was drunk a lot of the time. Exactly, she did say that. When you change your deposition 3 times in one sentence, you're not reliable. Exactly. She was like, oh, he's drunk a lot of the times. Like, stop it. And of course, someone's calling me. Dude, people are trashing this woman's looks. Colonel Kurt said, pretty sure I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. And no, that's not a dig at her appearance. It's a dig at her entire being that is exuding from the screen. Oh, Lord. Everybody is calling her bitter. Like, this is pointless. Irrelevant as fuck. Jesus Christ. Y'all, stop talking shit about Ellen Barkin's looks. Oh, no. Damn, that's literally all we're gonna get from Ellen Barkin. Like, what more can you possibly say? You don't even know if you fucked him for 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 months. How do you not know how long you fucked Johnny Depp? That a bottle was thrown, but then you changed that and said that it was tossed. That he was drunk all the time, most of the time, well, but a lot of the time. and that he was in his hotel room fighting with his assistants and his friends. So that is literally all we have gotten at this point. Did he ever hit you? No. Did the bottle ever hit you? No. Again, someone said we're going to have a verdict next Friday, and I hope so, because this has just gone on long enough. It's gone on long enough at this point, I feel. I've heard everything I needed to know and then some. I've heard things that I really, really did not need to know, and I feel bad that Johnny has had to put his life out here for everybody to hear and speculate on and this, that, and another with his private life behind closed doors. I just feel like it's over. It's fucking over. This jury is fed up. They're fed up. Let me see if I can go to DUI guy to see if he said anything about the jury. Oh, so he left. So, okay, so he's leaving. So I don't think he's there anymore. Yeah. Let me go to Ian. See if he's still there. Gallery reaction to Barkin is basically to wonder what the hell is up with that. Exactly, bitch. Why are you here? Also, the redaction from romantic sexual was a source of much amusement for the gallery and those juries whose poker face slipped. So her saying that kind of had a strong reaction, and I'm sure she did it for a reason. All of this is calculated. She said that Johnny was the one that flipped the switch to changing their relationship from being like strictly platonic to going over to being more intimate. So, please. I am very sure that you were all too happy for that button to be switched, as you said. Jesus Christ. Okay, what else? Also, not sure if you can see on the video, but Amber really, really hated hearing #AmberTurd. Fave, scrunched up, eyes blinking, rapid fire. I'm sure the internet will treat this responsibly. That is so embarrassing. It is embarrassing as fuck to sit up in court and have people talk about #AmberTurd because you literally took your ass. Like, how do we even think she did it? She took her ass, got up on the bed like this, scrap, and took a like, that's how you did that? That's embarrassing, Amber. You should be embarrassed. You should be highly, highly fucking embarrassed. Holy fuck. Let's see what else. Okay, nothing much else. It's constant. It's constant, the emails. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Like crazy. Constantly getting shit. Anyway, their break is about to be over. That means, oh, so he does his jury numbers like ABC, whereas DUI does like 1, 2, 3. Okay. Some surprising animation among the jurors as well about hearing about Waldman's Twitter suspension. H thought it was funny. F looked a bit indignant about it. Elaine tries to catch him on, so you broke that rule, right? Paraphrase. Swing and a miss. And in something of a big development for me, Jury A decided to take off his mask around the time of Waldman's deposition. He's still pretty stone-faced, though. So apparently some of the jurors are in there that are wearing the mask and some aren't. And when obviously you're wearing the mask, it's easier to conceal your facial expressions because you're seeing, like, just from here up. So he took it off. He said, I'm unmasking myself. LOL. Jurors also look annoyed as yet another AH witness says he never directly saw any violence. When he started getting into JD in anger, I had his head up in somewhat combative pose. Didn't like that. No one's seen Johnny hit anything but inanimate fucking objects and shit that he owns and destroy stuff that belongs to him because he paid his money for it. I can do literally whatever the fuck I want with the shit that I own. Okay? Like, I just can't wait for this to come to a close and just to get this verdict because I'm feeling emotionally fucked with. I'm feeling mind fucked by these people. You know, they're trying to tell me that this is here and this is here and they're seeing all this and this was being said, but I'm not fucking seeing it. It's not there. Like, I'm so sick and I'm like, I'm gonna finish it out because I believe in this and I feel as if Johnny deserves more than ever now to be, you know, have some type of vindication. He deserves to be able to go off and live his life. But this is just fucking foolishness. These people are embarrassing. Embarrassing. Okay, it's coming back on. Let's see. Oh, Lord. All rise.
Okay, are you ready for the jury?
Yes, we are ready. Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, we'll approach them.
Oh, Lord, they gotta approach. I don't know who asked to approach, but they gotta approach. I'm sorry if, like, outdoors was loud, but I'm in a situation where I don't want to turn the air on. Well, yeah, I don't want to turn the air on because it's, like, not that hot. But if I keep the window closed, it's going to be stuffy and hot in here, and I can't do that or I'll fall out. So, bear with me, y'all. The judge is very animated. Very animated. I feel like she wears her emotions on her sleeves. And whoa, what is she looking at with such surprise? She wears her emotions on her sleeve. But we could be very wrong. I think that she's kind of like, all right, why are we here? She's kind of over all this, but I think she also gets the consensus of what is going on here and what happened. She's not dumb. She already said that Johnny didn't get a fair trial in the UK. She knows what's up. I'm trying to get this camera to do right. All of a sudden want to be acting wonky. Okay. Let me fix this and come back. Okay, here we go. I'm ready to get into it. Put this on Johnny some. Elaine in the mint. I feel like she has that blazer, if that's what you can even call it. In every different color. I've seen a grape, I've seen a mint, I've seen a black. Elaine. God, girl.
All right, thank you. Your next witness?
Your Honor, we call Dr.
So that was the end of Ellen?
All right.
She literally came up here to do nothing? We're moving on to another witness. I thought she was coming back. What the fuck was the point of that?
All right. All right, thank you.
That's the only reason why I even set up the fucking camera.
Please provide your full name.
Who is this, another disgruntled friend and employee?
You're a doctor, correct?
A doctor?
Correct.
A doctor of what? A psychiatrist. I don't need any more of Amber's crocked out, quack doctors. I don't need it.
Since 1987.
And you went to medical school?
Yes.
What medical school?
Northwestern University.
And Johnny Depp was a patient of yours, correct?
Correct.
You understood that Mr. Depp had substance dependence issues, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall what substance issues, what substances Mr. Depp had issues with?
I know I did not just hear
marijuana.
substance abuse. I know he did not just ask him about substance abuse.
Opiates.
Another fucking time. We already
have an
know,
understanding
Jesus
that Mr. Depp
Christ.
had anxiety
I know the
syndrome?
jury is rolling their eyes to the back of their fucking skull. We know Johnny was on drugs, man. We know that. But he did not hit anybody. Why are we still doing this?
And how did you come to be aware that Mr. Depp had anxiety?
The time wasting is astounding.
Do you recall having any conversation that Mr. Depp was bipolar?
Bipolar?
There was some question about
Where the fuck is this coming from? So now Johnny's bipolar.
disorder diagnosis, but
You know
don't
what?
remember the specifics about the discussion.
No, Amber
Do you
is
recall
a
having a conversation with
narcissistic,
Mr. Depp about
histrionic,
bipolar
bipolar,
No.
What
borderline,
behaviors did Mr. Depp acknowledge that
lying,
changed?
gold digging, B word.
Certainly his drug use.
Certainly his
certain
drug
drugs
use.
were to
God.
help relieve a lot of the psychic pain that he was experiencing.
In working with Mr. Depp, would you agree that Mr. Depp had fundamental issues with anger?
Fundamental
I
anger.
would say that
Fundamental
he
issues with
expressed
anger?
issues
What
with
does that even mean?
Mr. Depp
Fundamental.
expressed having issues with
Okay.
anger.
Okay.
Did Mr. Depp express having issues of anger towards Amber?
He expressed having anger
He was tired of her
towards
ass.
her. Yes.
Do you recall what reasons Mr. Depp told you as to why he was expressing anger towards Amber?
I can't, no, I'll have to say no.
In working with Mr. Depp, was he ever suspicious of Amber having affairs?
She was. She was having all the affairs in the
He
world.
expressed feelings of jealousy. But I don't remember if it was about affairs.
There goes that jealousy. They love trying to make it seem like Johnny is jealous of all these broke freeloading.
Jealousy toward Amber about?
I cannot.
No.
In working with Mr.
I'm not
Depp,
recording this whole thing because I'm not
did
about
you
to
see
listen
that
to another
Mr. Depp
quack
had issues with patience?
doctor. I'm not gonna do it.
Yes, he was impatient.
I'm not gonna do it.
What is your understanding about issues that Mr. Depp had with Amber?
It was a very chaotic relationship. With,
She was chaotic. Chaotic
a
as
lot of
fuck.
fluctuations and ups and downs, and lots of difficulty in emotional expressions. And lots of anger in both places, and high intensity affect, emotional expression.
Lots of anger in both places. Y'all hear that? Amber and her team ain't like that. You saw Ben get uncomfortable. Amber put her finger on her mouth. A sign of not liking what someone is saying.
Weinstein Exhibit 3.
She's like, damn, where is this about to go?
Yes.
How is the jury going to react to this?
It's my invoice billing document.
This is from your files.
Correct.
You keep this document in the ordinary course of business.
Correct.
And this billing invoice is for Johnny Depp, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And so where it says 10/2/14, from your billing
This is all
records,
whack.
would this be
I'll come back when
this
it
your
gets
understanding the
juicy.
first time
If
you
it does get juicy.
met with Miss
Abandoning like his dad. And then below kids, it says.
They're talking about the kids. They talking about him and Vanessa.
All this needed me to be
Like,
all this week or all this work. I don't know.
Return to the next page. It says page 2. And then what's the next line say?
This violence, rage that
violence and
over
rage
a couple of years.
that he had over a couple of
And
years.
so what is Mr. Depp referring to there?
Recall?
So do you recall that in working with Mr. Depp that he spoke about violence and rage in other relationships?
Nobody
in addition
else,
to
no other
relationship with
woman
Amber?
he has been with besides Ellen Barkin has said anything about violence and rage.
Chaos. I don't remember violence, but
So now he's saying rage and chaos. He says he doesn't remember violence. You know what? We're done here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. We're done here. He literally just said, I don't remember violence. I remember rage and chaos.
for years.
Okay, and so what is Mr. Depp referring to there?
Recall?
So do you recall that in working with Mr. Depp that he spoke about violence and rage in other relationships in addition to his relationship with Amber?
Well, rage and chaos.
Always trying to make it seem like
remember
somebody's
violence, but
violent.
I remember rage and chaos. Now, again, the context of this is I had met him at this point.
Haven't even
This
met
is
him.
the initial telephone consultation. So to see whether or not he was going to start therapy with me.
But in your working with Mr. Depp, was he
No
talking
violence.
about rage and chaos
What the fuck was
with
that, Amber?
relationships in addition to his relationship with Amber, correct?
Yes, yes.
What other relationships was he talking about rage and chaos?
Again, I don't have the specific recollection, but I think it included the mother of his children. And,
So there was rage and chaos with Vanessa,
arguments
but she
about,
wrote a statement saying otherwise.
not child custody, child care, or visitation, or
Shit
access to the
gets
children.
fucking dirty in a divorce.
On the left, it
Are you
says,
kidding me?
Raised 2 kids, 15 and 12.
But she said she loved that man and he took care of her and the children.
And then below that, she tried to protect me. She tried to protect me too.
Do you know what that's referring to?
Hey.
My association now is his sister. But,
I'm currently
I
like
don't,
cooking bacon because I want a BLT. Oh my god.
I don't think that's true. I don't have a specific recollection, no. Wouldn't take fear. Wake up to fight devil. Wait up to fight devil.
You know what that's referring to? Wait up to fight devil?
I think he referred to a devil as some version of internal depression and chaos that he felt. Something like an everyday phenomenon he felt he was
Look at Johnny. He's like,
struggling.
this is dumb.
And I think that label that as a devil.
So Mr. Depp labeled it's something that was internal to him as the devil.
As a representation of something horrible inside of himself.
Ooh, Johnny's the devil.
So the devil was something horrible inside of himself. Correct. That's what Mr.
Again, I don't think he ever said that, so I'm going to be careful here.
Right. Be careful. Don't lie. If you're not sure, don't lie on oath. I have all these other people sat up here and lied. Don't lie if you're not sure.
And anxiety and fears that he had.
Everybody has depression and anxiety. Don't mean you beat somebody.
Did Mr. Depp ever refer to himself as a monster?
Here we go with this monster shit.
Remember the word monster in my office, but I don't know if it was referring to himself.
Exactly.
That'll be more revealed as we go forward.
You heard the word monster, but you don't think it was referring to himself because it was referring to Amber's ass.
This is page 4 of this exhibit. And there's a 3 at the top, correct?
Yeah.
And then to the right, that says Amber's fiance, correct?
Correct.
And then there's
work through anger, just below that.
And we're saying work through anger. Is that referring to his anger towards Amber?
I think what
Objection,
then is that part of his goal of therapy was to work through anger that he and his fiance had towards each other. Then going back to the left, better with girl about it.
Jesus.
Self-destructive, hard to not put in front of me.
You know what self-destructive, hard not to put in front of me means? It's referring to?
I think the self-destructive was his drug use. That's what they're referring to at this time.
I'm now looking at Blaustein 13, which has a page 4.
Everybody in this story is on drugs.
And
Everybody.
It says Johnny/Debbie, correct?
Everybody's fucked up.
All right.
I'm happy to see that Johnny is still in good mood.
The date, it says
He
10
does not
slash
seem
what?
concerned or worried at all, y'all.
That's
At all.
7.
And so it says JD 10/21/14, correct?
Correct. A lot of things, work, intense work, fatigue. Need a minute. Here I can say with certainty his words, shit with my girl.
And what's that referring to?
Difficulty he was having with Amber.
Do you recall when he was talking about what difficulty he was having with Mr. Depp was having with Amber?
No.
The next line looks like it says she refuses to accept.
Correct.
Do you know what Amber refuses to accept? What Mr. Depp was referring to?
No.
And to the right it says Amber what?
Amber wedding.
This is foolish. Let me make my
We're
BLT
talking
and
at
come
this point
back.
about
So the doctor seems to be reading his notes, and he's about to talk about Johnny saying there was a big fight with girlfriend.
It says possible it was a phone session that I didn't mark as a phone session. Big fight with girlfriend yesterday.
Big fight.
Struggling with how to separate.
Struggling with how to separate.
Let her tell you her feelings.
Right, all about her.
Relationship needs to take care of you. Her to go to a safe zone, withdraw.
Her to go to a safe zone and withdraw?
Then childhood experiences.
Because Johnny was the one always going to a safe zone and withdraw.
1/6/15, correct?
Not her. She was always coming at him,
and what are these
busting
notes
in
say?
doors, coming in rooms, coming in
Patient note, 20
bathrooms.
minutes. Positive hypnotherapy session. Goals to make a beeline to bed. Using relationship to take care of the individuals. Let's see. Not logical approach to Amber's work. Take care of emotions.
Oh, Lord. Quack, doctor. Quack, quack,
Sobriety
quack.
continuing.
And then Blaustein 20. Move down to the last page. And this is for 1/8/15, just to be clear.
1/8/15, correct. Cite vulnerability, woman in studio who admire Amber. Threat.
What did that mean? What did you understand
That probably related to the prior question, that there's a woman who admired her that he felt jealous of. And so the next thing is something of vulnerability.
This is just sorry.
Instances of vulnerability, an internal fear parallel to vulnerability in childhood.
Nobody cares. God damn,
Anyway.
nobody cares.
What does that mean? 3 or 5?
I am indeed.
Okay. What are your areas of practice?
Litigation, largely in the business and entertainment areas.
An
Have you
entertainment
handled
lawyer.
defamation and libel matters?
I have.
Where are you barred? In other words, what states are you a member of the bar?
Sure. In California, New York, and Washington, D.C.
You
And are
really trying to make
also
that bread.
a member or barred in the United States Supreme Court?
I am.
Can you please tell us where you attended undergraduate and law school?
Sure. In Georgetown for both undergrad and law school.
What, if any, service did you have with the Counsel of the United States Senate Judiciary Committee?
Sure. I'm just pausing to get my dates correct here. In approximately March.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say?
Various ways that lawyers are from time to time in magazines and publications and whatnot.
And what, if any, recognition have you received as one of the top 100 attorneys in California?
The legal paper annually puts out a list of the top 100
Johnny's
attorneys
like,
in
this
California.
is
I've
like
been fortunate to be selected
Ben
as one of
laughing,
those,
Johnny laughing.
for many years.
And what, if any, recognition have you had as being a super lawyer in California?
The same answer, except that's, I believe it's called Los Angeles Lawyer magazine. I could have that wrong, but again, annually they put out a list of their super lawyers.
Okay. And are you also a member of the American College of Trial Lawyers?
Johnny is
I
like,
am.
what the fuck?
What is one of the qualifications for becoming a member, being invited to be a fellow of the American College of Trial Lawyers?
No one cares.
Sure.
That particular publication on
Sure.
December 18, 2018.
Sure.
So what, if any, legal representation did you provide to Ms. Heard relating to the op-ed?
She presented to me a draft of the op-ed and asked for my counsel in terms of reviewing it, editing it, and finalizing it for publication.
When is the first time Amber
And y'all
Heard
still
reached out
fucked it
to
up.
you in
Did
connection
all
with
that and still fucked
the
it up.
op-ed and reviewing the op-ed?
It was certainly within the time frame of December 6, 2018.
In connection with the op-ed, what, if anything, was your objective in representing Amber Heard with respect to the review and revision of the op-ed?
I reviewed it and spent some significant time on it to make sure that there would be no meritorious claim that could be brought against her in connection with a defamation or related type
And yet,
of tort
here we
claim.
are. So you didn't
And
do good enough.
ideally with that in
Because
mind,
here we are sitting in court for a
minimize
defamation
the
case.
possibility of her ever being sued in connection with publishing it.
So Mr. George, I'm going to ask you to take a look at exhibit number 9.
Yes,
Are you familiar with this document?
I am.
Please describe what it is.
As its title, it's a judgment of dissolution of the marriage between Amber Heard and Mr. Depp.
Were you familiar with this document and its contents when you represented Amber Heard relating to the review of the op-ed?
Yes.
And what was your objective in representing and advising Amber Heard on the op-ed in connection with this stipulated judgment of dissolution of marriage?
So my objective was to make sure that there would be no meritorious claim that could be brought against Ms. Heard in connection with the publication of an op-ed, whether that is a tort related to, say, defamation.
And yet everybody thought it was about Johnny. Amber got up on the stand herself saying that she was talking about a group of powerful men, including Johnny. This is why we're here. You know what?
And what, if any, indications did you have from Amber Heard during that time frame that Amber did not intend to follow your advice or did not care if she was in a compromising position or might be at legal risk?
So let me answer that this way. Really 2 points. Number one, there was never anything that she said to me to the effect that she was willing to run some risk of being sued or that she wouldn't listen to my counsel or anything of that sort.
I sometimes think these people be coughing at exact moments when they hear some bullshit.
She affirmatively did follow, in all instances, my counsel with respect to these particular edits.
What, if any, legal advice provided by you to Amber Heard respecting the Washington Post op-ed was disregarded by Amber Heard?
None, to my knowledge.
What, if any, legal advice?
So she followed your expert legal advice and now is sitting in court getting sued for $50 million. That sounds like she need a refund. That sounds like she need a refund. You should have told her, ma'am, you got your $7 million settlement. You have not donated. I think that you should just be quiet and say nothing. Scrap the whole thing. Scrap it all.
Jessica Kovacevic, she's Amber's agent.
Amber's
and that's
agent.
Approximately 27 minutes.
So is this agent going to tell us that Amber somehow managed to lose $100 million in profit? And that's what she should be suing for? Like, I really want to fucking know. What are you about to say? Yes, because of Amber's online situations, people were talking about her online. Nobody wanted to work with her.
Here today, in your personal capacity and also as a representative of your agency, WME.
I do.
This will likely be the last witness of the day.
I'm a talent
agent.
agent.
It said it's 27 minutes.
Would you please describe in just very general terms what a talent agent does generally?
Generally, you procure work for your
Why
clients.
is We Just Don't Like You Amber trending?
Make introductions, you read their scripts, you negotiate their deals.
And I take it Ms. Heard is one of your clients?
Yes.
Did Ms. Heard have a successful career at the time you began working with her?
Define success.
Over the period that you've worked with Ms. Heard as her agent, what have your job responsibilities entailed?
Getting her magic mic.
Like I mentioned before, introducing her to producers and directors, writers, studio executives, procuring work for her, introducing her to people that can employ her, and then negotiating her deals. And then dealing with whatever happens on while she is working, anything that arises that needs dealing with.
Did you ever, at any point in time, see Mr. Depp hit Ms. Heard?
No. Could have answered that for you.
Ms. Heard when she was cast in the original Aquaman?
She was cast in Justice League first, and then the deal was to be in Justice League, the first Aquaman and the second Aquaman.
Did you assist Ms. Heard in procuring the role of Mira in Aquaman?
Yes,
Was Aquaman a successful
Along with the help
movie?
of Johnny.
extremely.
Extremely.
Was Ms. Heard's performance in the film well received critically?
Yes.
Were there any negative views about Ms. Heard's performance in Aquaman?
In the
Yes.
press, you mean? Or what do you mean specifically?
Well, in the press.
She was
or
simply
otherwise.
hired for her
No,
looks.
there weren't any
That is
negatives.
it. She has no talent.
As for
No
talent
talent.
agent, did you attempt to renegotiate Ms. Heard's salary for Aquaman 2?
Yes.
When did you do that?
We did that around this time last year.
Why did you attempt to renegotiate it at all?
It's
Because
standard
all
to,
this shit was happening
renegotiate,
and they did
these
not.
types of
You
deals.
know. I know
It's
you
normal
were asking for
practice.
more money. I know that.
When a movie, I mean, when Aquaman came out, it was the most successful movie of all time ever.
Most successful
so
movie of all
even more
time
so for
ever?
that reason, but
Girl.
for any successful
Most
franchise
successful
movie, when you
movie
make,
of all
a 3 or 4
time
picture deal like
ever.
we did,
Are y'all hearing this?
in success,
The hyperbole. I
it's
can't.
difficult to go back and renegotiate the deal.
And now, getting to your point, why did you choose to do it last year at this time?
Because that's when her option was exercised.
And when you did get around to trying to negotiate, you and WME successful in doing that?
Correct.
When did he call Warner Brothers to renegotiate the next film?
It would have been the end of February last year.
What year was that? 2021?
Yes.
At some point, were there press reports that Ms. Heard was getting released from Aquaman 2?
My thing is, if she was getting, if she was like renegotiating her contracts and getting more money, then obviously her work wasn't so affected as they're saying that it is. They still haven't came out and said this bitch is removed completely from Aquaman. How is it so affected when you were able to renegotiate contracts and she was successful at it? How?
Online rumors for a while that she was being replaced.
When did you first hear about this?
First, I don't know exactly when, but it was way before. It was way before this. It was maybe even a year before this. 6 months before, maybe.
So nobody ever told you that Warner Brothers misrepresented the reason that they were replacing Ms. Heard, correct?
Why? No, why would they?
Did there come a time when Ms. Heard was restored to her role in Aquaman 2?
Yes.
At that time, what were the terms of her restoration to Aquaman 2?
The financial terms?
Yes.
She was going to be making $2 million on the second film.
Was that consistent with the original contract?
$2 million. $2 million. Johnny's making bracketing 24 plus for his shit. $2 million for the best movie in the world ever.
The lack of chemistry between her and Jason?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
no chemistry.
Did there come a time when WME came to understand that
no chemistry?
Ms.
Amber ain't
Heard's
like
role
that.
as Mira in Aquaman 2 was diminished in some way?
When she was sent the script, she was sent the script directly, which is the common practice for these films.
You're aware that Ms. Heard has a contract with L'Oreal, correct?
Yes.
Were you working with Ms. Heard when she signed that contract?
Yes.
What's a bot?
A bot is a fake account that's created to execute a certain objective.
What is your educational background since high school?
College.
What college did you attend?
NYU.
What year did you graduate?
2005.
What was your major?
Why do we need to know all of this?
When WME
Why does it
first
matter?
began working with Ms. Heard as her talent agent, you said she had some success.
I don't care.
How well known was Ms. Heard?
Not known at all. Ain't nobody know who she was until
pretty
Johnny
famous.
pulled
She
her
was
up
within the industry.
out the gutter.
You could call anyone and they knew who she was.
That is
So
a lie.
She had a
You
certain
could
level
call
of
anybody and they knew who she was.
fame.
Okay.
She had starred in
Maybe when she got with Johnny.
movies and shows already by that point.
And going back and taking a wider lens, over the time that the several years you've worked with Ms. Heard, how would you characterize the arc of her career?
I would say she was a known actress when I started working with her. She was someone that you could call
Known where?
executives and producers and people about everyone, knew her name. She
my
hadn't
God.
yet reached big star status, but she was definitely
On her way.
she could get the lead of an independent movie. She could get the lead of a TV series. When I worked with her, we slowly started to strategically, have her work on some more prestigious projects and work with, better directors. And
Yeah, because
then
Magic Mike
when
was not
she
cutting
got
it,
Justice
honey.
League, that
Not
was a
cutting.
turning point for her. And then Aquaman, subsequently was obviously the biggest thing she had ever been a part of.
And is the arc of her career now on the upswing with her being part of Aquaman 2?
No, because she's a known fake fraud, hoaxer, and
Tell
liar.
me what you mean. Why not?
It's horrible.
Because typically,
Because she lied.
When you have an actor who is in a movie as successful as that,
Sat
as
up and
Aquaman
lied.
was, their career totally changes. And they're in a different echelon.
And she would have had that. She
you
would have
know,
had that if she would have took
way
her little
more
$7 million
offers, they're just put in a
and
different
shut her
place.
mouth. She would have had that.
Position-wise with studios,
She absolutely would have.
They're more bankable.
But no, she
so
had
they
to run
can
her mouth. She had to be greedy.
greenlight
She had to be
projects,
conniving.
all of those kind of things are consistent with when you're in a blockbuster of that size. And with her, that did not happen.
Nope. And it's not going to
what
happen.
happened,
It's never going to happen.
Very significantly for her co-star.
Yep.
Obviously, he's the lead of the film and he's the title character, but
Yep. Sorry,
even,
boo-hoo, cry,
even a
you
small
ruined your own
percentage of that
career
did not
because you
happen
wanted
for
to go
her.
through with this.
So
Johnny told you not to do it. He gave you ample amount of times not to do it, so therefore your career goes down the drain.
evidence sitting
And you're
here,
going back to the gutter.
Today, do you have that this caused her career any harm?
Because the evidence in that, in my experience and the experience of my colleagues in the experience of this business, your career takes a turn after something like that. She was very well received in the movie at the time. Everyone was very happy with her at the time. There was no issues, and then to have a complete downturn after that, and then have that
Everybody was
coincide
pleased
with
by her performance,
constant
girl,
tweets
bye.
and negativity put out about her.
Looks. They were pleased by her
I
looks
don't have a
in
physical piece of
the
paper
mirror
of
suit.
evidence,
That's
but
it.
It's the only logical conclusion I can draw.
That's all they were happy about.
A single role she has lost as a result of any activity by Adam Waldman or anyone at his behest?
Yeah, what did she lose?
There was a movie at Amazon that she had been offered.
Ooh,
with
Amazon.
Gael Garcia Bernal. I don't know what the final title of it is called now. I can look it up. It had a working title at the time.
Be pissed about it.
That they
lost your work. Now you gotta sit up here in court and deal with
took away
it.
from her.
Your
and,
fault. Yep, took it away. Snatched. Bye.
The lead actor who was a producer on it very much wanted it to be her and was very frustrated with the process. And no one can say out loud, we're taking this away from her because, of this bad press, because it's nothing she did, and it's all hearsay, and it's all...
It's not all hearsay.
Whatever.
Johnny didn't like that. It's not all
There's no
hearsay.
other
There is
reason.
documented evidence. It ain't hearsay. Your friend's shit is hearsay. Your client's words are hearsay. All she's saying is making up fucking stories, but ain't nobody seen nothing to correlate. Please.
Opportunities that Ms. Heard has lost because of any statements made by Mr. Waldman.
I mean, the Amazon movie, for one, is one that is tangible, because that is an example of something that she had before.
But do you know if it's because of Adam Waldman's statements? No, you can't verify
I know that a campaign she shot for Todd's via Katie Slater was scrapped and not used. There was not another specific example because, like I said to you, no one is going to say to me, oh, we can't hire her because of these tweets or whatever. They just don't want to hire someone that has bad press around them from, his accusations. No one wants someone who's being accused of a liar and making something up. And,
she's a known liar. Nobody wants to be attached to that.
No one wants that association with their project.
Exactly. Nobody wants that association. And she is a liar. She's a flat-out, bold-faced liar. This ain't helping her either.
Mr. Waldman. Mr. Waldman states in this article, quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the
Read
trick.
it again for us, so the jury can hear it another time.
Thoroughly searched and interviewed and left after seeing no damage to face or property.
Right.
So
You're
Amber
hearing
and
that
her
lady
friends
and you
spilled
still
a little
believe your
wine
client?
and roughed the
Please.
place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist. And then
That's what they
placed
did.
the second call to 911.
Listen,
And, quote,
jury.
did I read that correctly?
Listen again, jury. That's exactly what they
It just showed
did.
the top part of that on this page, but the top part was correct.
And lady, you are listening to this and you still believe Amber.
Was WME aware of Adam's statement, Mr. Waldman's statements in this particular article?
Yes.
Now, you testified a little bit earlier about there being tweets from Adam, and I assume you were referring to Adam Waldman. Is that correct?
Is that correct?
And what, if any, impact did it have
I'm gonna mock
on
Elaine
Amber
since she wanted to
Heard's
mock
career
Johnny.
path to have Mr. Depp's lawyer putting out statements in the press and in tweets that Amber Heard was lying, making things
She
up,
was
creating a hoax.
I
think that his comments
That's all she was
spurred
doing.
on, it just added fuel to the fire. So there was
He was
already so much
exposing
media
the
coverage.
truth, baby, the truth.
That's what I observed.
I'm going to take you to Aquaman, and I'll call it Aquaman 1 just to make it a little bit easier.
Don't take me to Aquaman.
understand.
I will.
What,
I
if
have not
any,
seen the first one. I'm not seeing the
issues
second
were
one.
raised
Whatever.
With Amber Heard by anyone
I refuse to spend my
that
money
was
on that.
responsible
Refuse.
for the filming of Aquaman.
No performance issues raised whatsoever.
And what was your understanding of how Amber tested with the audiences in Aquaman?
My
They liked her
understanding was that
look.
she tested extremely well.
They like the way she looked.
And this is and
Okay,
Aquaman
moving on.
has reflected all the markers of a
Because it
very
wasn't the
successful
acting.
movie at this point.
Her own
Yes,
acting
you
coach said she
testified
can't even
earlier
fake cry.
That it's quite typical.
She can't give real
when you have
emotion
a
because
series
she's
of
not a
3
real
or
human
4
being. I think she's a little bit of an
films in a
alien.
franchise
Or like a
series,
lizard person
to be able to
inside of a human
renegotiate
body or
as you go
something. This
into
chick
the
is not
sequels. Do you
real.
recall that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. And why is that?
Because you make the initial deals, before the movie has done, well, and then when the movie overperforms like that, it's a custom.
In light of the success of Aquaman,
in light
would
of,
you expect that Amber Heard would be receiving endorsements as of this time?
Yes.
Yep, and she ain't getting
And
none.
what is the typical?
She ain't getting no endorsements. Ain't
What's the
nobody want to make her the face
process
of
that
nothing. No
happens
designers
after
wanted to
someone
dress her
has starred
because
in
she is a
very
liar.
successful movie such as Aquaman and Amber with Mira.
I'm sure she
The
wanted to be at
endorsement
Cannes Film
department
Festival
would,
and doing all these other things.
a
Nope,
combination of
all that gone. You won't
offers
ever go to the
and
Met
then,
Gala again. Gone.
Seeking out offers seeking out opportunities.
Now, given Amber's career trajectory leading up to and immediately after the success of Aquaman 1, did you expect her career to go on an upward, downward trajectory, or stay the same?
I expected an
Obviously
upward trajectory.
upward.
And why is
Duh. And it didn't.
Because in success of a film like that, it's usually always the case.
And immediately after the successes of Aquaman, would you have expected Amber's annual earnings to increase, decrease, or stay the same compared to the previous 5 years?
I would have expected them to increase.
And why is that?
Because her profile had been raised internationally. She was in a movie that was successful worldwide, and when you are in a movie that performs that well worldwide, your bankability is stronger. You can finance
Your
an independent
bankability.
film more easily. You can greenlight a film more easily. You can just do.
She ain't got no
more and
bankability
for
no
money.
more. Her bankability is gone.
Do you recall
Go.
what the budget was for Aquaman?
No more bankability.
The first one, I don't know. It would have been probably somewhere between 150 and 200 million.
Wow.
Immediately after
And she
the
went to
success
2 million
of
for Aquaman 2.
would you have expected Ms. Heard to continue to earn at least the fee she made on Aquaman on future big budget studio firms, or less or more?
You that becomes an actor's quote. Their fee.
The thing is, she would have
and,
made that if she wouldn't have fucking
typically,
cut
like,
the
you
fuck up.
will then earn
She
not
did
on a
this
tiny
to
independent film,
herself.
you didn't
She
make that much
wanted
money on
to
that,
take
but,
this public. That's not
another
Johnny's
studio
fault.
film,
He
another
tried and
film,
tried
another
and
streamer,
tried to keep
whatever,
this a
something like
private
that, you would
fucking
make
affair.
that much,
How is
or
it his
potentially get a
fault
raise.
that now people don't want to work with her because
Other than Aquaman
truth
2,
has been
Amber
exposed?
obtained any roles with a budget the size of Aquaman's?
No.
And
Has
never
she been
will
hired for
again.
any films with budgets over 100 million?
Never will
No.
again. She gonna be doing another
Immediately after the
indie,
success
another
of
indie like that
Aquaman,
in the fire.
Would you
That's what she
expect the
do.
success of Aquaman and her starring role in that film to increase her ability to get more movie studios to be interested in her, decrease, or stay the same?
Increase.
And did it?
No.
Would you expect her to get more TV roles?
Objection.
Yeah. And why?
Why? Because I mentioned earlier in the conversation, TV and
Amber
films are
Turd.
so blended now. And
Amber
there's
Turd.
much less of a delineation between picking projects between film and TV.
And did Amber receive more TV roles as a result of Aquaman, the success of Aquaman?
No.
Immediately after the success of Aquaman, would you have expected Amber to star in more than one project per year?
Someone tweeted, Amber Heard's agent. Amber was pretty famous before her relationship with Johnny Depp. That's perjury, Your Honor. Absolutely.
Indies, you can do
Lies.
a couple of them a year. It just depends. So I wouldn't put a number on it, but definitely more than
Lies you tell.
zero.
And has Amber starred in more than one project per year since then?
No.
Immediately after the success of Aquaman, did you expect Amber to earn between $5 and $10 million a year for the next 5 years?
I would have expected to renegotiate on Aquaman 2, most certainly. And still right there. But that would have been significantly more. And she would have, yes, I would have expected her to earn more in a combination of TV, film, and more endorsements.
It's her
Was
fault.
your understanding
It's her
that
fault.
WME passed on to L'Oreal?
Amber Heard's agent just testified that no one wants someone accused of abuse working on their movie. Why in God's name are they calling these witnesses? Exactly. She's accused of abuse. Everybody knew what the fuck was up in Hollywood. They just been sitting and waiting for this fucking moment to go down and happen. Once the verdict comes out, I guess next Friday, it's a fucking wrap for her. It's done. Aquaman is sitting there on their fucking heels and waiting and baiting breaths and shit, trying to stall because they don't want the backlash and the fire and everything. So they're going to wait till the last minute to see what happens here, and then boom, they're going to drop. Amber has been released.
Suggestions to assist them in being able to block some of the harassing Instagrams they were getting at that time?
Yes.
Johnny was getting harassed on
Let's bring up
Instagram.
30 again,
People
please.
were harassing his kids at
Now,
school because
did in
she put out an
fact
op-ed
L'Oreal
calling their dad a wife
suspend
beater.
having Amber
Don't fucking
Heard
talk
on the
about
International Women's
harassment.
Day campaign.
Fuck out of here.
Yes.
What the conditions were for the renewal.
It was just essentially that they were renewing her. It was the same fee. That was the bulk of it. It wasn't, like a raise, but they were extending her.
Okay. And typically coming out of the success of Aquaman, would you have anticipated that Amber could have negotiated larger fees for commercial projects?
Yes, we would.
Okay, and why would that be?
Because her profile had been raised. She was, she had done something super successful. So typically that's what you
Ooh,
would do.
Jennifer
That would
Howell
just be the
posted a
standard
When did
long
you first
post
learn
on
about
IG.
the change
I'll read that after.
petition that was out there to try to get Amber Heard dropped from Aquaman 2?
I don't know when I first saw it.
Were you aware of it as of May 27, 2020?
Yes.
You earlier talked about bots in response to Mr. Chu's questions. What, if anything, was your understanding of these bots at this time, during this time?
Bots.
My
It's
understanding is just based
not
off my
bots.
own,
It's people who don't believe
mainly
fucking
based off my
Amber's
own
crazed, insane,
research,
maniac
just clicking
ass.
on the accounts myself, and then discussing it amongst the team.
Talking about bots.
And
This
what
is
did
ridiculous.
you learn out in a major franchise film? Would you look to other comparable actors' careers to ascertain what type of acting jobs they could get?
I mean, I've been doing this job for
How long?
quite some time, so I don't necessarily look to one or the other, but in general, when someone is in, what was at the time the most successful film ever released.
The most successful
natural
film
progression
ever
is-
released. Even Johnny is laughing. Like, where is the math on that?
and
Where is the math? I
more
really
films,
need to know
more-
the math
yeah,
because I
more
don't
work,
believe that
more money, all
ever,
of that stuff.
ever.
And when you say
She said that
the
twice
most successful
now.
film ever, you're referring to Aquaman 1, correct?
Like, it makes
Correct.
no sense.
Are comparable
not
actor
true. It's
salaries
Aquaman.
used in your mind to ascertain the asking price for an actor in a similar film? Are comparable actor salaries used in your mind to ascertain the asking price for an actor in a similar film?
Yes.
Would you consider Anna de Armas' career to be comparable to Amber's in measuring where Amber would have been after Aquaman 1? Should have been.
And Ana de Armas, yes, I would say that would be a comparable, that would be a good comp.
Anna de Armas.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Did they just bring up Anna de
Is that what you have
Armas?
for today? That's it. Okay.
Let me roll it back
Ladies and
real
gentlemen,
quick.
we
Did
come
they
to the
roll?
end of our-
Because I saw Johnny laugh at that.
Price for an actor in a similar film?
Yes.
Would you consider Anna de Armas'
Yeah.
career to be comparable to Amber's in measuring where Amber would have been?
Why is she laughing at that?
Should have been.
And Ana de Armas, yes, I would say
Anna de
that would be
Armas.
a
Why is she
comparable,
laughing at that? Johnny's like, what?
That would be a good comp.
Amber's laughing at that. Like, Anna de. Okay. So here's the thing, which I find
Is that what you have for today?
interesting.
That's it. Okay.
So that's it
All
for
right, ladies and
today.
gentlemen, we come to the end of our day and the end of
Okay.
our week.
End of the week,
we
doing
have
Friday.
a good 3 days and come back for our last week of testimony. And enjoy
Johnny
your
looking
weekend. I just
good.
want to remind you again of what we need to remember as we go through the weekend, okay? So
Don't-
you're not to read anything
Right.
about this case.
They're
You're
not
to
gonna do
watch
it.
anything about this case.
Amber's
You're not
team
to listen
isn't gonna
to
do
anything
it.
about the case.
Look at Johnny.
This
He's
applies
so
to
hot.
television, newspapers, magazines, the internet.
They're not gonna
and any
listen,
online
Judge.
sites.
They're not.
Further, you're not to read, watch, or listen to
They're not
anything
gonna
about
listen.
this case on any social media networking site or
You
streaming service.
all that
In
is,
addition,
they're
you
gonna
must not
all be
communicate
on
with
it.
anyone about the case, whether in person, over the phone, by email, text, or instant messaging,
They
or
gonna
by
all
any
be
other
on it.
electronic or non-electronic means. This includes your fellow jurors, friends, family, co-workers, acquaintances, and strangers.
All right.
I also instruct you that you cannot do any research or make inquiries about this case, whether online or by any other means. For example, you cannot look information up on the internet
Nobody
that is
is
related to this
listening
case
because they're not. They know they're going to do what? Get right on their phones and look what people are saying.
Materials. What you learn about this case is limited to what you learn in the four walls of this courtroom when proceedings are underway. All right. So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you early, 9 o'clock, ready to go.
Thanks, Judge.
Monday morning, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Jury's headed out. Amber can't run out today ahead of everybody, not following instructions. That's a hot ass mess. I can't believe she did that. Or either she had to really use the restroom, but even still, that is so disrespectful to leave before the judge and jury.
In this matter, Ms. Hurd and Mr. Depp, please do not do any posts on social media over the weekend. No public statements, please.
No public statements, no
We'll
posts.
see you on Monday morning. As for the
She
attorneys,
asked for Johnny and them, no public statements, no posts. But you know Amber Heard is going to be talking through Eve Barlow all goddamn weekend.
Depositions that we need to get
all
so we can
weekend.
get Jamie so we can get those, and get them all taken care of.
Okay, was Ana de Armas. One of my videos way back, I had watched Deep Water. It's a movie on Hulu with Ben Affleck. Ana de Armas is in it. And I swear to God, I was like, this is a role that Amber would have went for. And in the role, Ana de Armas looks, to me, she very much in the role. Watch it on YouTube, not YouTube, Hulu if you haven't seen it. It's a very interesting movie. It's very weird. But yeah, in the role, Ana de Armas had dark hair. She didn't have blonde hair, but still, like, the facial features and just the role in itself, it was very much Amber. So the fact that they said Ana de Armas was very interesting, because I kind of like saw them being like people. If Amber would have kept her mouth shut, if she would have kept her fucking mouth shut as she should have, took her little 7 mil, donated it, done it the right way, I do truly feel like her and Ana de Armas would have been like direct competition, and they would have been going for the same roles. So I feel like that was very interesting for her to say. But what I wanted to get into was this long post that we got from Jennifer Howell. And this is bothering me. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. She's so vain. Yeah, I know, but it was bothering me. Okay, so Jennifer Howell posted about 2 hours ago via IG. Long post, so be prepared. I'm reading it all. Interesting picture she has is of Martin Luther King. I'll show you all. That's the picture that she chose. Okay, we'll see what this picture has to do with what she has to say. So Jennifer Howell says, I came forward to tell the truth, to try and save someone I love from continuing down a path that was not representative of who she showed me she was, aka Whitney Henriquez Hernandez, whatever, or however you say her name. She's talking about Whitney because they were friends. In Jennifer Howell's declaration, she said they were chosen sisters. Chosen sisters, that's what they called each other. I still love this woman very much. Chosen sisters, that feeling doesn't go away just like that. She knows what's going on. She knows that Whitney is literally being battered by Amber Heard, and that she is like, she's stuck. She's trapped. She's trapped. But the thing is, Whitney is a grown-ass woman. If she wanted to, she could flip on Amber just like that. She has beat her. She could flip just like that, and nobody would blame her. I still love this woman very much. There are days when I am angry, days when I am sad, and days where I am literally gutted by the injustice in all of this. I feel you, girl. However, I try my best to find compassion and empathy for all victims of abuse, aka Whitney. So she's saying that maybe she's saying, as I read more, that she has some sympathy and empathy for all victims of abuse because Whitney is a victim of abuse. Amber beat her. We know that. She was beat by her dad. We know that. So she's saying that she does have that compassion. Please have compassion for all victims in this situation and in this world. So she is asking for compassion for Whitney. I have consistently said there are 3 things they can attack me over. 1, my rose wine and occasional martinis, but they would leave that out just Okay, this is interesting. She says, 1, my rose wine and occasional martinis, but thought they would leave that out given the substance abuse of others involved in this. Exactly. So what if she wants to fucking have some rosé and she wants to have some martinis? That's the only thing. She's saying this is one of the 3 things that they could attack her with. But given all this drug use and alcohol use, that shouldn't matter. 2, James, because nothing has ever disappointed nor hurt me more than that friendship. James. I gotta get into more to who James is. 3, I have said that they could always Martin Luther King Jr. this and call the IRS on the charity for some reason or another. Well, since July of 2020, I have had to call the police for death threats I was receiving online. Call the police because of a situation at the Roosevelt Hotel in New Orleans. She's getting death threats. Mind you, Amber's sitting here saying that Johnny Depp fans are the people who are so horrible in doing all this attacking. But your friends and your fans are sitting here attacking this woman, breaking into her house and shit, sending death threats to this woman because how dare she speak out and give the truth in the situation, because your sister, Amber, went and ran to her and said that she felt like you were about to kill Johnny. Wow. Because of a situation at the Roosevelt Hotel in New Orleans that I did not want to go into details about, my coworker's car was broken into the day after we were called in for questions in regard to this case. They did not touch rosé wine nor martinis. They grilled me over James during my deposition, and lo and behold, a few weeks before my deposition, the charity received a letter from the IRS. That's fucked up. This is a charity, and now Amber and her little fucking team has called the IRS over to this charity to try to audit and look into their bullshit. Intimidation tactics. They're fucking slimy, dirty people. They're dirty. The letter requested a response by the date that was 2 days before the scheduled deposition and requested a ton of documents 2 days before discovery was closing. So they were trying to have her attention over here, trying to get her all flustered, trying to get her all whatever by having the IRS come, and then 2 days later knowing that she has this deposition to do where she's going to literally discredit everything that Whitney said. Sneaky, slimy slime balls. Slime balls. We welcome the IRS and respect them and every other arm of this government very much. We have an amazing team who handles our finances and our financials. We have always been available on our site. What concerns me with this is that if someone is using the IRS to bully people, after hearing that they went after Debbie Lloyd's nursing license, trying to have it revoked, it seems more suspect to me. So that's a little tidbit. I didn't even know they tried to go after Debbie Lloyd's nursing license, because she said, I didn't see a fucking thing on Amber. I saw not a goddamn thing. And by the way, she tried to stop me from leaving by blocking the goddamn elevators. She threw a bottle at the back of Debbie. Y'all, this is some mess. Thank you, Jennifer Howell, for speaking out, being real, keeping it real, blowing Whitney out the water. She's already not credible, talking about some I rarely ever have been sober, while they talk about all Johnny's drug use and shit. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit. So thank you, Jennifer. That was very interesting and enlightening. I hope that she is safe. But the fact that these people are going this far, Today was dumb. Dumb. Grifters, freeloaders, disgruntled employees, former friends, people who wanted things from him didn't get what they wanted, people who still have never seen Johnny hit Amber. What's the fucking point? What is the point? Johnny has 18 hours and 30 minutes left, y'all. 18 hours and 30 minutes left. Amber has 8 hours and 14 minutes. They have 10 whole hours more to destroy this woman. 10 more hours more than what she has to destroy her to the depths of Hades, where she belongs. 10 more hours. They know what the fuck they're doing. This is all strategy. Some people were like, oh, I wish this cross would have been longer. Oh, I wish this redirect would have been longer. They know what they're doing. When that rebuttal comes through, baby. When that rebuttal comes through. Earlier I was talking about who we would like to see come in as a witness during the rebuttal. I don't know if I said Jennifer Howell, but I'm saying Jennifer Howell now. I'd love to see her come in as a witness. But again, let me know who you think you would like to see in the rebuttal. That's crazy. They have 10 whole ass hours more. Wow. Wow. Has Amber ever just considered the reason she doesn't get movie offers is because she's just not a good actress? Right. Expected to earn 5 to 10 million over the next 10 years. Laughing my ass off. Lay off the pipe. Ah! I can't. No negative reviews of Heard in Aquaman. But this person, Rika Law, has quoted, and Amber Heard turns in a performance as a King Norris's daughter, Mira, that is about as relaxed as her appearance in the famous Hostage video she made with Johnny Depp to apologize for infringing Australia's rules on importing pets. So that's a negative headline just right there and a negative opinion. But there was no negative response to Amber at all in the best movie ever. Please. Please, please, please. I'm excited. I'm about to go get my car. So I gotta head out of here shortly. So someone tweeted, if you have a paranoia, are you aware it's a paranoia? Then Laura B responded, I remember Amber said in UK she would exaggerate sex scenes so he would see it less or something, basically inciting or gaslighting him. So she was saying she was so concerned about doing these sex scenes and these intimate scenes, but instead she would go in and be extra as fuck with it, which I believe because she overacts absolutely everything to make him even more feel a type of fucking way. Gaslighting him. Trying to say, oh, it wasn't that bad, and then he looks and he's like, okay, your whole pee is out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What did you guys think of today? How do you guys think it went? Do you feel like this day has been any positive effect for Amber? Because I'm still not there. I'm still not there. Quite honestly. But, yep, I'm gonna go get my car. And I'm going to catch you guys in another video. I hope that you have a lovely rest of your Thursday. It is Friday Eve. Thank God. I'm over this. But yeah, have a great day. I hope that Johnny has a lovely weekend. He still looks in great mood, great spirits. His team looks like they are fresh, fun, and free. They don't look worn down and haggard like Amber's team do. I know that Johnny is going to be getting a lot of self-care. He's going to be doing his thing. He may even travel somewhere. I mean, on the week break we were on, he was in the UK. So he may even go somewhere. You know, he's booked and busy. He got shit to do. He's a worldly man. So it should be interesting to see where in the world Johnny will be. I'm sure he'll pop up on somebody's IG or something where he's been spotted out somewhere and a fan will post the picture. But yeah, I'm still so positive with this. I know that he's innocent. I know that he's going to win. And if not, I still don't believe her. I still do not believe her. And I will never believe her. But he will have been vindicated in the public, and hopefully he can move on with his life, and Amber can seek medical attention in a mental facility where she can be medicated, studied, watched, and strapped up. And the child hopefully will go somewhere away from her, because that is a concern, a true concern. But anyway, that's my video for today. Think about liking, think about subscribing. If not, I completely understand, but I'll see you guys a little later.